Good morning. As always, just making sure that sound is a-okay. And while I'm doing that, I hope that you are wearing something comfortable, that you have had something to drink, maybe have a stretch while you wait. And I'll just check on my end that all is working. Yes. Amazing. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Today we continue on the topic of Ahimsa. Today we're focusing on sort of finding peace, on ease, on presence. I'll tell you more about it. We're going to start lying down on our backs today. It's a hip focus practice. And so come to lie on your back. If you have any stretching that you sort of want to get out of the body before we begin, maybe you reach your arms overhead, maybe you circle your wrists, maybe you squeeze the knees in towards your heart and stretch them out. Whatever you need to do, just get that movement out before coming with the knees in towards your heart and then placing the feet on the mat. Just taking a moment here. Feel your back on the mat. Ground yourself in the present. Maybe you place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly so that you can feel the breath as it moves through the body. You're going to right away start by taking 3 deep breaths together to arrive and ground ourselves in this moment. So exhale whatever breath you have out. And then take a deep inhale in through the nose, fill the belly and the rib cage with air. And then pause and hold here, feel the fullness. And then exhale, draw the belly button in towards the spine, push all of the air out. 2 more, deep inhale. And exhale all the air out. 1 more deep breath. And exhale. And then allow the breath to flow naturally at its own pace without any regulation, in and out through the nose. And perhaps you leave your hands on your body so that you can follow along as the breath moves through the body. In today's practice, I want to guide you with one mantra, one little nugget of wisdom or insight. And that is that the point is not to be right or to do it the right way. The point is to be present. So throughout practice, whenever you find yourself trying to fit into a preconceived notion of what something should look like, or push yourself into a pose that doesn't suit your body, or maybe notice any self-talk that tells you I'm not doing this right, then I urge you and encourage you to remind yourself that that's not the point. The point is to be present. And that also holds true for when I give cues. I give cues to move the hip back, to draw the belly button in. Those are also cues to bring your awareness into the body. Same as in meditation, where we return to the breath. In yoga, we have so many other tools to work with to stay present. We have all of the parts of the body where we can guide our attention and ground ourselves. So, with those words, bring your knees in towards the heart, hug them close, rest the hands on top of the knees, draw the chin in towards your chest here, and begin to deepen your breath, perhaps with ujjayi if that's part of your practice. So sending the breath to the back of your throat. And notice how that creates a sound. Some will call it the ocean breath because it sounds a bit like a rolling ocean. Take one more breath here, squeezing the knees in towards the heart. And then inhale as you move the knees away from you. Leave the hands on top of the knees. Open the knees wide when they're far away. And then exhale, draw the knees back in together in front of your heart. So just warming up the hips here. Inhale as you push the knees away. Extend the arms. Open the knees wide. And then exhale, draw them back in towards the heart. One more in this direction. Push the knees away. Open them up. And then exhale, draw them in towards your heart. And change direction. So inhale, open the knees up and then push them away. Exhale, close the knees and then move them into the heart. Inhale, as you open the knees wide, push them away, extend the arms, and then close the knees, bring them in towards your heart. One more inhale, big, big circles with the hips here. And then exhale, bring the knees in towards the heart. Then ground the feet on the floor so that you can reach your heels with the fingertips, knees pointing straight up and gaze also straight up. Long neck here. A few dynamic shoulder bridges to warm up the spine, press into the feet, and then with your next inhale, lift up the hips and the arms overhead. So you lift the hips and the heart towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw the belly button in and slowly with the extent of your exhale, lower all the way down. 4 more. Inhale as you lift up, lift through the hips and the heart, reach the arms back, and exhale as you lower down. Take your time, be mindful. Inhale as you lift up, rounding the spine here or arching it rather, and exhale, bringing it back to the ground. Last 2. Inhale as you lift up, press into the feet. Exhale, lower down. And then last 1. Inhale, lift up the hips, lift up the heart, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, bring everything back to the ground. Then lift up your right foot away from the floor, bend the right knee 90 degrees and open the right foot outward. And then come with the right ankle, the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left thigh, just underneath the knee. Flex the right foot and then move the right knee away from you with the force of your muscles. Maybe stay here to stretch or reach your hands through the triangle and around the other side and then wrap them around your left thigh. Since we're barely warmed up, I encourage you to use this variation as the furthest that you will go. Just be really kind and gentle with the lower back here. So the hands are interlacing behind the thigh. You're gently squeezing the hands into the thigh to move the left knee closer to your heart. Both feet are flexed. 3 more breaths here. Inhale fully into the belly and the rib cage. As you exhale, maybe you can contract a bit more. Gently move the left knee in towards the heart. Inhale to create space, lift up the belly and the chest, and then exhale to contract. 1 more inhale. And then on an exhale, let go of the left thigh and then cross the right knee over the left. Wrap if possible, you can also wrap the right toes around the left shin. Hop the hips over towards the right and then bring the knees down to the ground on the left side. Open the arms into a T or a cactus arms. Ground the shoulders for 4 deep breaths here. Soften the point between the eyebrows and release tension in the jaw. Inhale to come back to center. Unravel the legs, ground both feet, shift the hips back so that they're centered. And then for the other side, lift up the left foot and bend the knee 90 degrees. Then bring the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Open the left knee, so move the left knee away from you. And either stay here if that's what you did on the other side, or lift up the right foot as well. And then reach through and interlace the hands behind the right thigh. Both feet are flexed here. Gently pull on the right thigh to move the right knee in towards your heart. Deep breaths here with each inhale, filling the belly and the rib cage with air. And as you exhale, exhale all the breath out. Draw the belly button in to contract and maybe bring the right knee closer to your heart. A couple more breaths here. Stay present with that idea of it not being, the intention is not to be right or to do anything the correct way, but rather to be in the here and now. And I think a sense of peace comes from being in the here and now, being present with what is, not trying to change it, accepting it. Let go of the right thigh and then cross the left leg over the right. Maybe even wrap the left toes around the right shin. And then shift the hips over towards the left so that you can bring the knees down on the right side. Open the arms wide, maybe even bend into cactus arms. So ground the shoulders. And then take several breaths here. Let go of any tension in the jaw by parting the lips. Soften the face. In general, bring a sense of softness and ease into this pose. It's quite an intense twist for beginning of practice before we're warmed up. So I encourage you to be kind to yourself here. The pose will feel different at the beginning of the class compared to at the end when we're really warmed up. All right, take one more breath here. And exhale out. And then bring the knees in towards your heart. Squeeze them into the chest and then bring the hands behind your thighs to begin rolling along your spine. And then the next time you roll forward, come onto all fours. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, grip with the fingertips, and then turn the elbow creases forward. Draw the belly button in here, knees underneath the hips, and then inhale, so you lift the sit bones up and the heart, roll the shoulders back, and exhale as you round. Inhale, coming back to your neutral pose, and then stretch one leg out and then the other to find yourself in plank. So you warm up the feet a little bit here, bend one knee and then the other. So just pedal a bit with the feet. At the same time, press away from the floor. So keep that mindfulness, that presence in the upper body. So you're not falling into your joints here, but actively pressing away. All right, and then come to stillness and push yourself back to down dog by lifting the sit bones up towards the ceiling, extending the spine long here. Maybe your heels are off the floor. Maybe you're bending the knees here. Whatever you feel like you need this morning in order to extend the spine long. I like to think of every variation in yoga as, you're not maybe eating the same thing every day. We like a little bit of variation in life. So just because you're doing one version today doesn't mean that that is what your yoga practice is. It's not determined in that sense. But just today, this is what you feel like, then go with that. It is what it is today. It does not say anything about the past or the future. It just says something about the present. So if you find that today, you know what, I'm gonna bend my knees really deeply here because I want to focus on extending my spine without feeling that much in the hamstrings. Wonderful. That's exactly what you should be doing. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, walk the feet forward towards the hands, coming into forward fold. Bend the knees generously here, so deep that you can bring your tummy, your belly on top of the thighs. Inhale, so you lift up halfway, roll the shoulders back, long spine. Exhale, bend the knees deeply, come all the way down. And then on an inhale, start rolling all the way up to Tadasana. Roll your shoulders back, lift up your heart. And then take a moment just to adjust to standing upright. Feel your feet on the ground. And get ready for a couple of sun salutations. Take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale out through the mouth. And then inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Follow with your gaze. Exhale, draw the belly button in, hinge from the hips, and bend the knees deeply. Fold forward. Inhale as you lift up halfway, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bring the hands to the ground and step back plank. Take a deep inhale here, press away from the floor, draw the belly button in, and then exhale, lower the knees, hug the arms in, and bend the elbows, lower yourself to the ground. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale as you roll the shoulders back, lift up the heart, long neck. Exhale, forehead to the ground. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, press into the toes, lift up the heart here. Exhale, lower down. And 1 more inhale as you lift up the heart. And exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under, shift the hips back. Inhale here. And then exhale, lift up the hips, come into downward facing dog. Inhale as you bend the knees, gaze forward, and then step to the front of the mat, coming into forward fold. Exhale. Inhale as you lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and exhale, hands in front of heart. 2 more of those. Inhale as you reach the arms up, gaze follows. Exhale, draw the belly button in, and then hinge from the hips with bent knees, come into forward fold. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, plank. Take 1 breath in here to press away from the floor, and then exhale, knees on the ground or knees lifted. Hug the arms in, lower all the way down, or inhale for upward facing dog. Wherever you are, roll the shoulders back, and then exhale, press yourself back to downward facing dog. Inhale as you bend the knees, gaze forward, and then exhale, step to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands in front of heart. And 1 last round. Inhale, as you reach the arms up. Exhale, flow forward. So we're warming up the body here. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, plank. Press away from the floor on the inhale. Draw the belly button in. And then exhale your way down towards the floor. Inhale for your back bend, baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. And then exhale, down dog. And then stay here in downward facing dog. Take 1 deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. Inhale, ground the left foot as you lift up the right. 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee towards nose. Step the foot up in between the hands. Ground the left knee, draw the right hip back, belly button in, and then inhale as you rise up, come into low lunge. Reach through the hands on the inhale. And exhale. 1 more inhale here. Maybe drop a bit deeper in the left hip. And then exhale, bring the hands to the ground, fingertips to the ground, and straighten the front leg, flex the foot. Now, if the floor is really far away here, then just bring your hands to the hips, squeeze the thighs together, and once again, fold from the hips. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, ground the front foot, lift up the back knee, and step back, plank, flow through 1 vinyasa. To come back to down dog. When you arrive, then ground the right foot to lift up the left leg, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot up in between the hands. Then ground the right knee, draw the left hip back, belly button in, and inhale as you lift up. Exhale, stay here. Inhale to reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Really reach through the fingertips. Notice the stretch, the gentle stretch in your side body. Exhale, sink a bit deeper into the hip. 1 more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to the ground, straighten the front leg, flex the foot, draw the left hip back. Inhale, long spine here, and exhale. Remember, hands can always be in the hips. It's a bit more challenging for the balance. Inhale, long spine, and exhale. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, ground the front foot, lift up the back knee, step back, plank, and then flow through vinyasa, or always the option to go straight to down dog. So listen for what your body needs. I just want to give different options for different people. All right, then inhale, lift up the right leg again. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Ground the left hand, leave the left knee lifted. Draw the belly button in and the right hip back. Lift up the hips and then inhale to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. So coming into a twist here. Inhale, create a long spine, reach the head forward. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale here. And exhale. Then bring your right hand to the right hip. Pivot on the back foot so that you're standing on the outer edge. And then bring the right foot in front of your right knee. So coming into a side plank variation here. Inhale as you reach the right arm up. Stretch it out over your head, creating a long line from the fingertips to the foot. And then exhale, lower the hip down as you reach the right hand in the direction of the left foot. Inhale to lift the hips back up, reach the arm overhead. Exhale, lower the hip down and follow with the gaze. Inhale once more. And exhale, lower down. Inhale to come up and then bring the hands to the mat. Plank and then flow through your vinyasa or go straight to down dog. When you arrive here, ground your right foot. Inhale, lift up the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot up in between the hands. Ground the right hand, lift up the hips and draw the left hip back. Inhale as you lift the left arm up towards the ceiling for a twist. And exhale, draw the belly button in to twist a bit deeper. Inhale to create length in the spine by reaching the crown of the head forward. And exhale, lift the hips up a bit more. One more breath in. And exhale, bring the left hand to the left hip. Pivot on the back foot so that you're standing on the outer edge. And then bring the left foot in front of the right knee. Inhale to reach the left arm up and overhead. And then exhale, lower the right hip to the ground as you reach the left hand in the direction of the right foot. Inhale to lift up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to the ground, plank. Flow through vinyasa or option to skip it. And then coming to down dog. Inhale to lift up the right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot forward outside of your right hand. So if it didn't land there, then just walk it to the outer edge of the mat. Bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. Leave the hips lifted and continue lifting them actively. Press away from the floor, press into the hands here. Grip with the fingertips. Inhale as you reach your head forward. And exhale, roll the shoulders back. Press down through both feet. Continue lifting the hips. Reach the right hip back and stay here. Focusing on being present over being correct. One more breath, long spine. And then exhale, lower the left knee to the ground. And either stay here or variation. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right thigh and then gently press the right thigh away from you so that it opens to the side. And then maybe you can also see the sole of your foot here. You can stay here, or if your body calls for it, maybe you bend the left knee so that your left toes are pointing straight up, and you can reach back with your right hand and wrap it around your left foot. It's just a variation, just an option. It's not mandatory. Wherever you are, lift up your heart and breathe. Just a couple of breaths here. And then if you were holding on to the foot, let go of the foot. If your knee was opening to the outside, then close it. And then walk the right foot over towards the left wrist and then in towards your left hip. That you bend your knee here. Your right knee is pointing forward. Your right hip is coming to the floor. And then reach the left leg straight out behind you. So coming into a pigeon variation here. Inhale to sit up straight. And maybe you stay here today. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for the hip. Or if your body desires, maybe you come down onto your forearms. But be really mindful and slow here. Instead of throwing yourself at the floor and risk overstretching, take time, feel into the body, and be really present with the sensations that come up and respond to those. Breathe into the outer right hip. One more breath here. And exhale. With the next inhale, gently come up. Press into the hands. Curl the left toes under to lift up the knee. And press yourself back to down dog. Let's take a moment here. Feel the difference between the right leg and the left as the blood is streaming back into the right. And then for the other side, inhale to lift up the left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the left foot up outside of your left hand or just walk it to the edge of the mat. And then for lizard pose, really actively lift up through the hips here. Press down through the hands. Draw the left hip back and aim to create a long spine here. So stay really present with how your upper body is in this pose. Roll the shoulders back, reach the heart forward. And at the same time, active legs. So you're not sagging anywhere in this pose, but you're really present, active, and engaged. A couple more breaths here. And then bringing the right knee to the ground, either staying here, maybe walk the knee back a little bit, or bringing your left hand to the inside of your left thigh, gently opening the left thigh outward. Maybe stay here. Or perhaps you bend your left knee, or your right knee rather, so that the right toes are pointing up, and then maybe reach the left hand back to hold on to the toes. Inhale, wherever you are, lift up the heart, roll the shoulders back, and breathe. A couple more breaths. And then letting go of the foot. Ground the left foot and then walk it over towards the right wrist and then in towards the right hip. Walk the right knee back. Extend the right knee long, or the right leg long rather. Bend the left knee so that the knee is pointing forward. Bring your foot close to your hip here. Inhale as you sit up straight, and maybe you stay here today. Just working on breathing into the outer left hip, or if your body desires, maybe come down to your forearms here. Just for a couple of breaths. Opening up the outer hip. And also pigeon pose, it's close to the ground. It has a calming effect. Maybe it allows you to be really present with what's going on in the outer hip. Send your breath there. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, press yourself up and then shift your weight over to the left hip so that you can swing your legs forward and come to sit on your sit bones. Move the fleshy part aside. Reach the legs out long. Flex the feet here. And then relax the legs. Bring the hands behind you and just maybe shake out the legs a little bit. And then when you feel ready with that, activate your core by drawing the belly button in, reach the hands forward, flex the feet, and then slowly roll onto your back. Take your time, engaging the core. And then when you arrive here, bring the knees in towards the heart, just like at the beginning. Shift the weight over towards the right to bring the knees down on the left side for a couple of breaths here. Inhale to come through center, shift the hips over towards the left, and then bring the knees down on the right side for a twist and a couple of breaths. And then coming back through center, Squeeze the knees in towards your heart once more. And then extend the legs long for the final pose, Shavasana. Roll your shoulders away from the ears. Reach your arms out alongside the body with the palms facing up. Shake your legs out. And then open the feet wide as the mat and allow the feet to fall outward. And then let's take a deep breath in here through the nose. And out through the mouth. Let go of any manipulation and regulation of the breath, allowing it to flow naturally. And then release tension in your jaw, soften the point between the eyebrows, and sink into the ground. Enjoy a few moments of stillness. Enjoy your Shavasana. You have the option to stay here for longer if you desire. Just pause the video until you're ready. And begin to deepen your breath. Filling the body with fresh new oxygen and exhaling anything from the past, letting that go. Start to move your feet and hands, circle your ankles and wrists. And perhaps you reach your arms overhead and point the toes away from you before bringing the knees in towards your heart, hugging them close, and then rolling on over onto one side. Pause here for a moment. Take a breath in and out. And then inhale to come all the way up to a seat of your choice. Move the fleshy part away from the sit bones, then ground the sit bones down, feel the sit bones, and then move your weight so that you're sitting slightly in front of them. Notice what happens in your lower back as you just shift your weight forward a bit. And then when you're here, you have the option to close your eyes. Rest your hands wherever feels natural to you. Soften the point between the eyebrows. And just revel in the stillness here for a moment. And as you step off the mat, I give you the option of holding on to the intention of cultivating peace and a sense of ease, and how the root of that, or the way to get there, is to focus on being present. So whatever that means for you and however that will show up in your day, in your life, that's for you to explore and find out. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and rest the thumbs against the heart space. I'm going to close the class with one Om. Sing with me if you feel like it. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. And then inhale for Om. Om. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a glorious day. Namaste. Once again, thank you. As always, if you enjoyed the practice, consider liking it, sharing it with someone who might also like it. And if you haven't already, then subscribe. If you want to support in more ways, I have links to both PayPal and Patreon in this description. So if you want to use those, they're right there. Otherwise, a comment is always very much appreciated. This way I know how this class or the practice lands with you, since I don't have the direct feedback. I wish you a peaceful day and hope to see you very, very soon. Take care.